Advice for anybody getting into this business that wants to be in this? Listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another special guest on the Stranglehold Championship Wrestling Podcast. Myself, the manager of champions, Eric Nelson, along with Stranglehold Championship Wrestling Hall of Famer Q Ball. We are here with one of our most favorite people in the whole world, ladies and gentlemen. A guy who was instrumental in my career, the career of Mr. Q Ball here. And I'm telling you what, he's a man of many faces. He's known as the Almighty Brokishi, the Congolese Nightmare, and Mr. Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our good friend, Kimbro Jones. Welcome to the show, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hey, fellas, what's going on?
What is good? What is good? And I know, Kimbro, you got some good Jake Slater stories. What's that?
Doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good, blessed. And that's all I can say. I'm living my best life.
And that's important, buddy. That's important. Now, I know you got some good Jake Slater stories because I've been witness to many of them myself.
Well, 20 years ago, you know what I mean? Like
Come on, we ain't that old, are we?
40, it'll be 41 next Thursday, so...
Oh, shoot, man, you still young because I know I ain't old.
Yeah, for a young guy, that seemed like a long damn time ago, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The only way I can start it off is like this here. I remember I had just graduated from high school, and little brother told me that they was doing training in Fort Valley for wrestlers, and it was free. So I pretty much didn't pay no attention. I told him, no, go to hell with it because that.
I can picture that shit too.
Especially not here in Fort Valley. But me and my best friend, we had went to the liquor store and we got some of the cheapest beer now because here, of course, when you just out of high school, you don't have money to get good shit.
You're right about that now.
Got to work your way to that.
We a pack of Milwaukee Best.
My dad used to drink that shit. Ugh.
Well, when you drunk, when you're young, you drink anything.
You right about that. Or if you broke, you drank anything. Shit.
Right.
Yeah, Mr. Boston, you name it.
Yes, sir. Oh, good old Mr. Boston.
That'll burn the hair off your chest and your nuts.
Facts.
But anyway, man, we stopped by a co-worker house and we were kicking and talking. And I was on the corner of Spruce Street Gym where they always have wrestling.
Oh, man. Good old Spruce Street Gym.
I was looking at a crowd out there, and I was like, what's going on over there? Like, oh, they got wrestling going on. And I immediately left them talking in the Milwaukee Best and walked across the street and stood up the whole entire show. And I remember, I was like, man, who I need to talk to get into this? And I seen, a lot of guys, Pitbull, Sam Slaughter.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy that was inspiration to training me, Alton Griffin.
Oh, God, yeah. Super A.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Danny Horn, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But one particular guy that stuck out, because I think this group was called the Elite.
KI
One of the
Elite.
guys in the Elite that stuck out to me the most was the real deal, Jake Slater.
Definitely.
And, you know, just standing there and on watching, you know, like, it just putting your mind of an old school heel from back in the day, you know, and getting the crowd all riled up and pissed off and stuff like that, you know what I mean? That's where it began, you know what I mean? And you know, both of you guys know when we did training in AWN in Fort Valley.
Oh, yeah.
Jake used to come up there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember.
And we always used to train in the ring.
Yep.
But way before, when we didn't know what the hell we was doing, we used to have a standing room crowd out there only every Saturday damn night, you know. And it was people like Jake that was drawing the cards out there.
You right about. Hey, man, you right about that.
And you know, it's, you know, me and Jake started from there, and then, you know, I think we built up a good friendship with each other, because I used to work for him when he had this organization down in Tifton, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And you know, we had fun, and you know, he was just a awesome fucking guy, and just
You right about that.
here, and also wanted you to know and learn the business of pro wrestling. And I used to have a problem when I used to when I started out working. My pants didn't stay up on my ass, so
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
ass crack would be exposed. And Jake, you know, Jake used to damn rip me by stealing crack out there to the pants, you know. It was Brokishi. You know,
Oh, shit, man.
He was a fucking awesome guy, man.
Yes, sir.
And you know, having the opportunity to work him on his organization down in Tipton, you know, it was an honor. It was a privilege for me, you know what I mean? Because he was trying to help me out of my career, you know what I'm saying? And a few years later, I got where he was trying to get me to, you know what I mean?
I do.
And it was always fun being around Jake.
You know,
at a show, and he had a budget that was short. He knew a few guys he probably gonna work for, and they didn't give a shit. And two of them on the phone right now talking to you.
yes, sir.
So, you know, we can go on and on about the guy. You know what I mean?
You know, one of my best memories is when we started working the Georgia Championship Wrestling shows with Grady. You came in that night in pure form. You know, that was one of the biggest crowds I've ever seen us in front of, man. When you came out there with Abdul the Butcher and then Jake Slater main evented that night with Micah Taylor, man, that was one of the best shows that we've ever done together. and honestly, at the end of the night, nobody really cared. We just had a damn good time. You know what I mean? And them people loved us. You know, we had a good run with that for a while, and you know, hey man, bigger things are still happening. Like I said, if you ever decide you want to grab the old turban again, you know, give me a holler, dude. We'll do it up.
Well, that's kind of hard these days. I'm a married man, so.
Well, we got a 4-day event in Atlanta, Georgia, Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. I would love to come up there, but it's not me. It's really convincing the wife and
Well, tell her to come on. There'll be some fun activities because we're not just going to wrestle. We got a lot of celebrities in the house that night. You know, got people from The Walking Dead. We got movie stars. We got the anime types. I mean, they all going to be in the house.
Cause she know I got the issue wanting to go in there and do it, but she also has been around when I've dealt with all the pain that comes with it.
I understand.
So we'll see, but I know in my heart.
I would at least like you to be there on Sunday for the Hall of Fame ceremony.
I would love to be there. And so who's in the Hall of Fame?
Well, we got Cue Ball right here beside me. Jake Slater will be our first inductee for 2022. The late Mike Money is in his class of 2020. He was inducted the same night as Old Dirty Don. We got Slaughter Pitt. We got Chick Donovan. We got Prince R. And of course we have our Legends Wing too. We have Road Warrior Animal, who was instrumental in the formation of this company, as well as the late George Animal Steel, who actually talked me and my wife into forming this prestigious company that we're part of today.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, George made his last public appearance with us in 2014.
Oh man.
And it was
2014. It really wasn't that long ago, but it seemed like it was 20 damn years ago.
It feels like it, honestly. And that was an honor and privilege for us to be in his presence. Paul Orndorff was also there. Jim Cornette was also there. There's a lot of them that came to us and said, y'all need to be doing this for yourselves. Because, I spent all them years helping other promoters out. All those wasted years where I could have been taking all of us to the next level, and I just didn't see it.
Right.
It didn't click with me until then, all those years, even helping ECW in the 90s before I found you guys. All the way help.
Yeah, when you first came in.
Well, like I said, 95, I was just, partying with a bunch of guys, getting drunk, and there was some wrestling in between. I came down and it didn't really click about the wrestling business till I got around you guys.
Right. Yep, and you fell in love with it.
And,
they have always been a great asset to us, man, and I appreciate that.
If you want to invite some of your friends.
Thank you for what you have helped.
If you want to invite some people, we are live on my personal Facebook page as we speak. And I have my producer already filming this for post-production later, so we'll have additional copies and add some more pictures and stuff into the podcast. But we are live and in living color right now, my man.
Hell yeah.
And, like I said, we had some times. We made some great memories. And like I said, if you ever decide, even one more time, you want to put on them red pants and dust off the turban, I got you, man. We'll take care of you.
All right, I got that itch because I didn't leave. I didn't leave like I wanted to.
No, I know you didn't. I know you didn't.
Quietly walked away. You know what I mean? Without saying goodbye, I'm gone, I'm done, and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, we're gonna do something for Jake. I want to do something for Mike, and I know we have 4 whole days at World Congress Center. We're gonna do our Hall of Fame ceremony Sunday before we head home after our final show that Sunday. We're gonna do our inductees for 2020, 2021, and 2022 because COVID got all in our way.
Yeah.
So I would definitely like to have some of the alumni there, the ones that knew Jake, the ones that knew Mike, and the ones that made an impact on me and on the rest of us in this company, because without you guys, man, there wouldn't be a Stranglehold. Without you guys, it wouldn't have clicked. Without you guys, I wouldn't have said, you know what, everybody's right, I need to do this shit and take everybody to the next level with me.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest regret is I didn't do this sooner.
Right. But hey, I live by everything happened for a reason.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Everything happened for a reason, and you actually, giving people the opportunity to be appreciated for the work they have put their bodies in, and also leaving their families on the weekend. You know what I mean? The sacrifices.
Yeah, because I know you guys. And
that's whether you're on the big league or you doing it on the weekends.
I know you guys didn't always feel appreciated, and I did my best. And today, we're still continuing that.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that 4 days in May is going to be one for the books. We're expecting a 200,000 plus attendance crowd for 4 whole days. We've got the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle, the Big Red Machine Kane, joining us on this wonderful occasion. Not to mention some new faces and some guys you already know. It's going to be a great time.
Awesome.
Yep, and I know Nelson's been talking about getting the turban and stuff out. I mean, I got better ideas. I think you should give Jay Smooth a call. I dust off the hat throw on the blue jean shorts, get the chains back out with the watches.
You know.
Like a bad idea, but he'll have to do all the work though.
You're right about that. I'm about shot myself.
I tell you what, I would do the Almighty Express and the Congolese Nightmare in one set if we could.
Cuba, I got one better for you.
Oh, what?
One night only. The Brotherhood, me, you, and Jay Smooth. So both can do all the work, and I do this. I do the finish.
You just come in and clean up.
Hey, let's make that a date, my man. I think we should let everybody decide. Should we do the Brotherhood? Should we do the Congolese Nightmare? Or should we do the Almighty Express? Y'all decide.
Well, they're gonna have to get out the wallets that night, but
y'all decide.
Hey, you know what? I would love do the Almighty Express one time only.
Hey, I wouldn't mind seeing one more of the Congolese Nightmare, just one.
Just one?
I mean, honestly, that was my favorite. I gotta say, I had a special connection with that gimmick.
Yeah.
I remember. Hey, man, I remember what. I remember I was walking you back from the bathroom, and you about bit that little kid, dude. That was hilarious. You should have seen the looks on them people's faces, bro. I had to bite my bottom lip so I wouldn't bust out fucking laughing, man.
Bro. I like to thank Zach Edwards for helping me put that gimmick over, man.
Absolutely, man. Zach Edwards did one hell of a job.
It helped me.
You know what? Because Mike Money sat down in the front row and said he got his damn ass whooped. Bro, y'all sold Mike Money. He done seen y'all a million times. He said, damn, he got his ass whooped.
Yeah, Mike was there for the first one because he managed me.
That's right.
Man, matter of fact, Mike became my full-time manager after that.
That's right.
Mike,
that's right.
Went all over Georgia and went up to South Carolina, North Carolina, and West Virginia. You know what I mean?
I remember.
Lots of fun. And whenever you get ready to do a podcast about Mike Money, now I got a lot of damn stories to tell about him.
Well, I can always revisit that. We did one, of course, last year, but and that one was kind of hard.
Yeah, man, he was a sweetheart, man. I miss him. And I was thankful that I got an opportunity to see him again right before this pandemic started. We was at Luke Gallows' housewarming, and we kicked it and just had a good damn time. And I was very thankful that I had the opportunity to introduce my family to him and everything. He come up to our house and hung out, and we went to a show and worked and laughed and stayed up, all night long, drinking moonshine.
Well, the last memory I have with Mike, we went to Jerry the King Lawler's 50th anniversary show in Jackson, Tennessee. That was our last hoorah together. That was our last hoorah together. And we were sitting at the hotel waiting on Coco Beware to join us because he was the last person we got to see that night. And he came all the way to the hotel to see us, especially just so I could introduce him. And Mike said, "Man, I've been wanting you to meet this man for years, because without this man, I wouldn't know you. Obviously, I knew who Coco Beware was, but I wouldn't know him like I know him today if it had not been for Mike Money pushing me through that door a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? And all you guys helping along that process." Yeah. And he told me his biggest regret is he didn't take some of my advice sooner. A lot of these guys that could have really pushed us all to the next level. And all the opportunities that we could have had that we passed on. And that is one of my biggest regrets too. And I'd like to try to fix that in just a few short months.
Right.
Well, listen, my man, we got to call it for a little bit. We need to take a little bit of a break. I need to go wash my face, I think.
Oh, man, wash your face?
Yeah, I get a little choked up thinking about all this. But
okay, yeah, I understand that.
Listen, I don't know if you got me on Facebook. If not, please add me, whatever. I don't want any bad blood between nobody else. I am so sick of losing people. God, I'm so tired of losing people.
Yeah.
Well,
we've been through too much. You know what I'm saying?
While I'm on air with you guys, if anybody out there that you don't need to holler at me and y'all need to talk or whatever, feel free to inbox me on Facebook. I'm always here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same here, my man.
You know, we all go through tough times and we need somebody to talk to. You know what I mean? And you got, you know, like we men and we doggone macho. You know, we try to hide this shit. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't working so good right now, and I ain't even had a drop of alcohol tonight.
You know, so yeah, you know, we have to break down and cry on each other's shoulder. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Hey, let's do it.
Well, we'll see you soon, my man.
All right, man, and thanks for the invite.
Ladies and gentlemen, the almighty Brokishi, the Congolese Nightmare, and Mr. Jones all rolled into one, the man of 1,000 names. Give it up for Kimbro Jones.
Yes, sir, man.
We'll see you soon, my man.
Okay, fellas.
Love you, big
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Be good.
Love you.
I love y'all too.
Yeah, man. Later.
Later.
Eric Nelson, manager of Champions here. If you want to see me buy suits, you see me travel the world, we're here. I'm at Lux, right here in the Mall of Georgia. Diamonds, gold, anything I want. And I come see this man for all my needs. Meet the Diamond Sheik.
At Lux Jewelers, you too can shop just like a celebrity. With the amount of celebrities that come through and shop with us, you will get a superstar experience. From diamonds to gold, silver, platinum, and everything in between, Lux Jewelers carries a wide variety of options to fit any budget. Come on in and get that superstar treatment that you deserve.
Because I don't settle for less, and neither should you. That's Lux, Mall of Georgia. Be for Georgia.
This is Olympic gold medalist and WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. Come join me Friday, May 27th at MomoCon in Atlanta, Georgia. I will be at the Stranglehold Championship Wrestling table, signing autographs and taking pictures. I will see you there. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
And we are back with the Stranglehold Championship Wrestling Podcast.
Okay, I got you.
Right here, large and in charge, manager of champions Eric Nelson, along with Stranglehold Championship Wrestling Hall of Famer Cue Ball, and we're trying a new drink. And while we're doing this, we got a special guest tonight.
Oh, yeah, one of the best trash talkers in the business.
Oh yes, you will get much more heel than this. Give it up for Big Bank Barfield.
Hey, the man, the myth, the legend, wrestler by birth, heel by nature, old school by tradition.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Now I know, my man, you got from the Big Bank Vault. You got some good Jake Slater stories. I already know this.
I got some great Jake stories, Jake Slater stories. Number one, we just want to say, you know, our heart and soul go out to, and prayers go to Dalton and Pam and Jake's mom. And
Here.
we just want to, you know, rest in peace, Jake Slater. We really, you know, we don't know what through Jake's mind, or we don't care what went through Jake's mind. We know what Jake's impact was on our life, and we just want to talk about the good things that Jake did to us, and not just our wrestling life, but how Jake, you know, just a positive influence on everybody he ran into.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I mean, it's just incredible. I just thought of an old Jake stories, a Jake Slater story. We're talking 2001 or 2002. I had gone down to the Funks and trained some, and then Mike Stratus took me under his wing from GIWA.
Right.
And then I was working for John Corsi, and y'all probably know John. But this is before John had Galaxy Pro. He had Georgia Wrestling Federation. I don't know if y'all remember.
Yep, I remember the Georgia Wrestling Federation.
Right, and we were in Dublin, Georgia, and John had overbooked the show, and you know, I was booked that night. You know, it was green as heck. Shouldn't have been. Jake somehow didn't get booked that night, but Jake came in the locker room and was like, "Hey," as Jake always did, you know. And our business, as selfish as it was, you know, everybody's like, "What about me?" But Jake came in there that night, drove all the way. This is when he was living in Tipton, Fitzgerald area. I was living in Dublin, didn't know Jake. And he's like, you know, "John, whatever you need me to do," you know. And I was like, dang, I already knew who Jake Slater was. And I'm like, my butt shouldn't even be booked on this show. I don't know the difference between a wristwatch and a wrist lock. And to make a long story short, Jake was had a deal where they put Jake in regular clothes, and he was just so excited. He was in the back. He was just, guys, I'm a part of the show. You know, I'm just glad to be a part of the show, and just the positive attitude. The first time I met him, and so he only thing he did that night is like they dressed him as like John had him dressed in regular street clothes, and he comes in and swings a chair. And basically got over more than half the matches there just because the psychology of it, he knew what he was doing.
Right.
And that particular night, we changed numbers. I'm originally from Tifton, the Enigma area, that kind of thing. I live in Dublin now. And that was the first time I ever met Jake Slater. And, I mean, just that particular night, you know, so many guys in the business would be like, well, dang, you know, if I'm only going to come out here and I don't have a match or I don't want to do anything, you know, if I just got to come out there and swing a chair, the heck with it. But Jake Slater took the smallest part you think of a match or a part of a gimmick or a part of a scene, and he made the best of it and got over like crazy.
You're right about that.
Little things he taught me like that. It's the little things that people look at. And like I said, he went incognito that night, and you know he even put his hair up. I forget how he did it, but I mean, you know, he didn't have his hair, long hair he had long hair. Like I think he wore a baseball cap. They put him in a pair of jeans, and he came out and like swung a chair in the middle of a match and got over more than half the matches he did. And that's one thing that Jake, you know, taught me was like sometimes it could be less, could be more.
Right.
And I mean that just the first time I met him, I was just very impressed. You know, I was like, wow. Because you got to admit, I mean, cue ball, Eric, you know how this cutthroat business. Some of you guys will be like, well, you know, I'm not booked on the show. I'll just go home. Or if I got to go swing a chair, I'll just go out there and show my butt. Or I mean, but Jake took the smallest part of the show, you would think, and got over with it.
It's a fact.
You know, that's what he taught me. So a lot of times it's just like, hey, just go in there with a good attitude. And that would have had to been like, I'd say 2001 or 2. And then, I mean, the rest is history. I mean, after that, I mean, I worked with him. I was always a heel, so I got to work with him, not against him. So, I mean, you know, then we worked GIWA together, and then we worked, you know, Corsi Galaxy Pro, and then Wayne Cannon, and then we also, you know, when Jay started his own promotion, GPWA, I was in Dublin, and he, you know, had the thing on Thursday night. I don't know if y'all remember this, in the Tifton, the nightclub in Tifton.
Yep.
Yeah, City Limits, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he would always include me, and you know, brought me down on Thursday night. I was selling cars, and my wife at the time, Charlie's mom, was pregnant with Charlie, but he would always. It's another thing, man. He would put me on first or second because he knew I had to get back to Dublin. He knew I had a kid on the way, and he knew, you know, that I had to go to work and sell cars the next day. I mean, little things. I look back now. And I'm sitting here and hit myself in the head. I mean, he didn't have to do that. You know, I was still kind of green to the business. You know, and like at City Limits, he puts me against Tommy Rich. I mean, you know, just little things like that Jake knew that would get over with the crowd because he knew I was from Tipton originally.
Right.
And I mean, it was crazy. And I mean, I look back at the time, you know, I did, it didn't open my eyes, but I look back on it, you know, I did years ago, not just because of what happened, but I mean, at the time I'm sitting there thinking, you know, why in the hell is he putting me on first? But then I scratched my head after I got home, like, he's putting you on first, dummy, because you got a wife and you got a kid, you got to get back to Dublin, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So little things like that, you know, it was crazy. I mean, he and I, and I know cue ball. I don't know if Eric, now I can't remember that. Did you ever work for Peterman at all, or you do Jody?
I did some stuff with Peterman a long time ago. It wasn't often, but I did accompany Jake to help out. Occasionally, when Danny Phenom and some of those guys went down with Peterman, I helped out because you know I grew up with Danny, I grew up with Phenom, I grew up with Dirty Don.
See, I remember all that. And, I mean, what I'm getting at, also back to Jake, I'm going from the Corsi days to the SGWA days to the Peterman days.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake, and you know, and then Jake started the GPWA, and then also, I don't know if y'all remember this, he booked for that promotion in Albany. I forget what it was called.
Oh, damn. I know it was before that other outfit came in there. Help me
It was
out here.
before Showtime, before Johnny and Dab started.
That's right,
But-
yeah.
But anyway, but what I'm getting at, Jake always, I mean, he always thought about me, and he'd always book me. But he booked over there, and then he would always put me against Tommy. He said, Chad, with your old school personality, and then plus your old ass, Chad, because I got into it late, but and him and he would put me against Tommy a lot, and it just, I look back on a lot of that stuff. The psychology of Jake knew the wrestling business. He knew what would draw. And that's what we, and then Fixture, remember when I know you guys want so much cards in Fixture.
Well, I was there for a couple times when he needed a stick man,
Well, you were always good. The thing about you can come in and name, you can cover wherever we were at. You can adapt to whatever the audience was.
Yeah, I enjoyed that part. Of course, I learned a lot of that from Jake. Jake and Chick Donovan helped me own that skill a lot. Just been sitting here thinking about all kinds. I'm sure you've seen some of the other videos that we've posted over the last couple of days, and a lot of that's just brought a lot of that just flooding back like it was yesterday. And you look back, and hell, some of that's been 20 years ago.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I got here shit thinking. Jake, the first time, like I said, I met him, he'd driven up GIWA, and then him and Holiday got to know each other, of course, living in Tipton, and Holiday and I don't know if you know this, after we grew up together. And
I remember you guys were talking about that the other night.
Reflecting back a little bit, but Jake and Holiday would stay at my house in Dublin when we were working for Stratus at GIWA. And it's crazy. Jake, until what just happened, I didn't reflect that I'd known Jake. I'd forgotten I'd known Jake since 20 years. And I'd gone through every promotion from Rampage to GPWA to GIWA to GWF to Galaxy Pro to SWA to his GP. And then
AWN.
And of course, I wasn't going to run Ashburn without Jake's blessing.
That's true.
And Jake, of course, came over there. And then what am I missing? And then going to the Funks. When I was still affiliated with the Funks, of course, I was going to take the best hill in Georgia, Jake Slater down there.
I just saw right before Mike Money died, we rolled up to Jackson, Tennessee to Jerry Lawler's 50th anniversary show.
That had to be cool.
And the first person I run to the lobby was Dory Funk Jr.
Really?
And he said, "Hey, I remember you, kid." He said, "Didn't you just bring Jake Logan to your show?" He said, "Thank you for that." He said, "How was that too?" I said, "Well, he's not a bad hand. He just, I don't know. He broke contact with me for whatever reason. I guess I put him in the ring with a guy that graduated from the power plant, thinking this will help his career. And some people just can't get the hell out of their own way. And that's, you've heard me complain about that. How many times?"
Well, it took me a long time. I'm not putting myself over, but a lot of people believe my gimmick because my mother had money and I always brought myself into every arena with a pair of khakis and a polo shirt on, or whatever. So a lot of the guys in the back really thought I was this pompous asshole, where I was just trying to get over like everybody else. But a lot of that, not just from Dory Funk, but Jake Slater taught me a lot of that too.
Well, a lot of people can talk shit all they want, but I'm gonna tell you something. That damn billboard right there at the intersection of Georgia 83 and 23 going down Riverside has been there almost 10 years. That's how many people have thought of that?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? It's like
my buddy Eric paid me when he was doing well. He would pay me $500 every year, and the last few years because of COVID, everything's gone. But just to Eric Red Plumbing to put me up on a billboard like that, it made my day.
Facts.
And that's what I'm saying. Hell, that's how I know I'm halfway home, as I see your billboard. Because I go that way to avoid the interstate to come, if I'm going home to visit, as I grew up in Macon.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, instead of hitting, interstate or something. I know what you're saying.
So I know I'm pretty close. I know I'm pretty close. I'm getting pretty close to my turn when I see your face up there on the sign.
And you're laughing. You're like, I know that crazy boy.
No, it's big bag.
But Jake, and I forgot the AWN. I was not. Mike Money was all. That's another thing. We're going to talk about Mike Money second, if that's okay.
That's okay. Go for it.
Mike Money always. I never was, thought I was better than anybody else. But Mike Money would you got to admit, AWN did have problems with paying people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But Mike Money would always pull me over to the side and give me extra money. I don't mean like tons, but I mean like, bank, I appreciate you. And I would never even ask sometimes.
That's the way Mike was, man.
Y'all got to admit, Mike Money, he would give you the shirt off his back.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. You got that right.
Yeah,
I had no idea. I had no idea that show in Jackson would be our last together. Jackson, Tennessee, Jerry Lawler saying it was a big affair. I had no idea that was my last ride with him. I
didn't know that until I heard the story a while ago. I mean, I knew, Mike passed, of course, but I didn't know you'd gone. I mean, that had to be cool.
That was our last ride together. I mean, me and Mike.
I wish Mike, and I don't think he'll take the wrong way. I wish Mike would have ran shows out of Fort Valley a little bit more.
Well,
he had the mind to do it, but I think he just liked being there, and he was comfortable with that.
Well, thing of it was, he let the wrong people in his ear. He admitted that to me that last night we were together up there, and when I formed Stranglehold and I took over the Fort Valley venue back in August 2019 and ran my first show as a full-time show that September, because it took me a while to get in there and clean the building up and everything. I mean, because it was a mess.
So you're educating me on some stuff I didn't even know. Go ahead, yeah. I like
so, also a lot of people don't know that Mike Money was one of the founding fathers of Stranglehold, because he said, it's time for the next chapter. He said, I had my fun. I learned, I made my mistakes and I had my fun. He's like, but he said, I'm going to stick around and make sure you're all right. He said, you learned from my mistakes, didn't you? I said, yeah, but I also remember all the things that you did right. But, he came to every show that I did up until COVID hit. Every show. He didn't miss not a one. And, I was really beating myself up over the whole thing. When COVID came along, we had to shut down, and he was like, oh, don't let it bother you. We'll get through it. We'll go get it back. I'll help you. Whatever we gotta do. We're not done. He said, I know you're never done. Hell, he said, you're never. He says, many times I said I'm done with the business. And you say, hey, Mike, I need you. I got an idea that's gonna knock your socks off. He'd be like, oh shit, But he would never hesitate. He's like, all right, I'm listening. What we gotta do? I'm gonna tell you something you would have enjoyed. and I was telling this story to Kimbrough a while ago. We did an event in 2014 called the Star City WrestleFest all the way up in Virginia. And what was surreal to me was to watch Mike Money and Jim Cornette at the same table picking each other's brains. Now that was a life experience in itself.
That's what I don't mean to interject. That's what I'm saying. I'm not down in Fort Valley. I'm giving Mike such a compliment.
Well, without Mike,
that's what I mean.
Without Mike, once it went to the others, it really wasn't the same. And then, when I had the opportunity to step in and, pick up the reins, after some others, tried out a little bit, it just wasn't their cup of tea. It wasn't nothing against them. I have no ill towards any of them. I got my opportunity to give it a shot, and we gave it a go. Now it's time for the next chapter. As I mentioned to you a couple of days ago, we're at the World Congress Center for 4 days in May.
Wow.
Last day will be the Hall of Fame ceremony, which will formally induct Jake Slater in front of everybody. And I hope you can make it. If you decide,
I would come up there just to honor, Jake. You know what I mean?
If you decide you're feeling got the itch, I'll find a spot for you. We got 4 whole days to do that in.
Yeah, well, it's like riding a bike. We never forget how to bump,
Right.
You got that right. We got 4 whole days, 6 shows in all, and we got 2 of the biggest names in wrestling going to be there. The Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle and Big Red Machine Kane will be in attendance.
I didn't know that, brother. It's unreal what you're doing even without them. I'm just saying that just puts an eye.
This will be up to this point in all of our careers my masterpiece, and to have all you guys there will make it better. Because it's like historical, chronological chain of events. All you guys that have been part of my life since I came to Georgia Independent Wrestling. Prior to that, I'd had some dealings with ECW, but the whole being in the business thing didn't click until I came down to Fort Valley, Georgia, where I met all you guys, where I met my wife in the center of the ring, where everything was set in motion up until this point. And it's like I was saying, it don't have to end here. It doesn't have to end here. You know what I'm saying? In May, that's going to be the biggest thing of our lives. There's going to be 200,000 plus in attendance.
I mean, even Charlie and I just came up and watched it. I mean, I think my son and I, just be awesome, just to see it.
I mean, not just the wrestling portion, but all the other stuff, the Walking Dead characters and, all the anime folks and some of the movie stars are going to be there. I mean, man,
Well, I would like it just for pulling for you, and I know Mike Money and dang Jake Slater would be, they would be looking down. They'd be proud and happy for you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Well, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Right. So, and I mean, that's where there's a few Jake Slater stories I told you we'd have to talk in private, but I got to talk to y'all, and I like I said, I was like, dang, I can't believe it was 20 years ago.
Right.
And I didn't kind of finish up, but then I went to Rampage, worked for the Funks, and then Jake, worked with Rampage for me. Then he ran that, Ashburn place. And then I moved back down here to South Georgia to my grandparents' house and here. And Jake, his house, I don't know if you knew this, was 3 miles from my house.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
I mean, not now, but now it was. But I mean, even before we hadn't spoken in a couple of years, we just hadn't seen each other. But before, I would have to go right by Jake's house, Jake and Pam and Dalton, and to come home. And it got where I was stopping by Jake's house 2 and 3 times a week. We talked about wrestling the whole time.
I believe it.
And it was crazy, I mean, he was, and he believed in me, I mean, we all, how this business is. It's a cut. I mean, by the time you pull one knife out of your back, there's 2 other people putting another one.
Just 2?
Jake
Shit.
Always,
How about 10?
Oh, God. Pure goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Pure goodness said, man, Jake, but this is way before, the incident we had. He said, Jake always puts you over. He said he always had, he said people didn't understand your gimmick a lot of times, man. They thought that you were really this pompous, which I could be sometimes, but they thought you were this rich, pompous asshole, and he understood your gimmick, and he would put you with people that he knew you could work. And he was just the psycho, and like I said, with a, like I said, a stab in the back business, Jake always would think about what was best for the business or the show. It wasn't about putting a belt on Jake or putting himself over. It was about what's best for the show. And I think y'all both
right.
agree with that.
I mean, I couldn't agree with you more on that.
1000% agree.
I'd like to throw in something for you that you may not have been aware of. But I remember approaching you when I started working for Grady Odom and Georgia Championship Wrestling. The first person I had in mind to be the booker was Jake Slater, and he says, who am I to be the booker for Georgia Championship Wrestling? You know what I told him? I said, you're the next chapter. I said, because that's what we're here for. We're here to take Georgia Championship Wrestling from what it was to what it's going to be.
Right.
Now, of course, here come all the knives and all the bullshit and every damn thing else. But we gave it a go, and I couldn't be prouder of Jake for that. Jake Slater and Micah Taylor tore it down on several shows. I would
love to see some tape of that.
Dude, I'm telling you what, you would, up to then they had never worked each other. I said, really? I said, I could have swore you guys, I'm sitting there thinking back. I said, but didn't y'all? Well, no, I guess not. I said, well, this is what I want, because Micah Taylor being a great babyface. And then Jake Slater being, well, Jake,
Right.
I mean, there's no other way to put that but Jake, you know what I'm saying? Just being Jake, being what he was, most fundamental heel of all time. Just don't call me greaseball.
You said it right, brother. I mean, he was so gifted in that area, like you said, fundamental. He could just lock up and then just back off, and it just. I mean, they started yelling greaseball. I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean, even Tony Atlas said that was one of the best matches he's ever had. When Tony Atlas came down from my father's memorial and him and Jake Slater in the main event. Man,
Hey, my good friend Ray Lloyd. I mean, Glacier.
Oh well, yeah. Who doesn't know Ray? I mean, well, I know Ray's from down around that piece there. So yeah, I know he's a hometown boy.
Ray loved working him. Ray after I found out about Jake, and he was like, "Man, I hate that." And Ray sent his condolences, and I told Pam that. But I mean, I don't know. Ray even said it. He's one of those guys where. like a lot of indie guys, you would have to just tell everything to do. He's like,
Not Jake.
Said I would just lock up and Jake would just do what he was supposed to do.
That's it. You know, for everybody from him to Tony Atlas to Ricky Morton, Tommy Rich.
Oh, the funk slugging. I mean.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean when we went down there to Dory's, the only thing is Jake hated it. He had a baby face a couple of times.
I can't see that.
Well, I mean, when Dory, you know what I mean? When Dory tells you what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna argue with him, but it's just, you know, there's certain people.
But the thing about it was when Dory told him that, I mean, guess what? He did the best. You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, it was. I wish I could get a tape of this. It was me and Preston Paradise.
Oh wow.
Versus Jake and Dave Holiday.
Oh, I bet that was good.
And I mean, they had to carry him out. My, you know, once the microphones drop and I get through talking, somebody's got to carry me laugh out loud.
Right.
But no, I'm being serious. We worked them in it was like live TV for Bang, and they played it on their show for like 6 weeks straight.
Nice.
And Jake and Dave babyfaced.
That's crazy.
That would have had to be like 05-ish.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You know, and then also I got to give Jake a shout out. You remember when Jake, you know, he'd wear the green and the black for a while.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then he got in phenomenal shape and started wearing just those trunks.
Yeah. I remember. I do remember the green and black. You know, I remember when Ash. I remember.
He baby faced like down there 2 or 3 times, but I mean, he took all that with a grain of salt. I mean, he took it in like, hey, I'm here at the Funks. I'm doing TV live in Florida. Hey, I'm gonna do what Dory Funk tells me to do.
I mean, Jake was always humble.
And so many guys wouldn't even have gotten that. Though.
They sure wouldn't.
Tried to fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jake was always humble. Always.
I gotta bring the name up to Cue Ball. How's Ricky Silver doing?
Oh man, he's doing good. He's down living the good life in Jacksonville.
Oh, that's right. He is in Jacksonville, ain't he? Yeah.
Do what now?
Is he still in the grocery store business?
No, he's actually got out, I can't remember what he said he's doing now. He just switched jobs, actually. He might not even be in Jacksonville right now. I want to say he moved to another
For the longest time, wasn't he in the grocery business?
Yeah, he was. He did that for a long while.
Dude, I mean, I love that kid. I mean,
yeah, same here.
Jody and I'm changing the subject a little bit. It ain't about me, of course. But I mean, when we put that World War title, that wasn't a joke. I mean, we knew the kid could work. We knew that what we liked about it. We knew everybody thought, well, I'm Jody's boy. I was still working with the Funks. You know, Barfield's not going to lose to Ricky Silver, and we did it because we just thought it was the right thing to do. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, he had talent, man. I hate that freak accident that happened to him, and he still suffers brain troubles to this day from it, man. It is what it is.
That's what he told me. You know, I talked to him for a while, and I mean, was always, and just think about if that kid could have put on 15 pounds. I mean, I don't mean roided up. I mean, just put a little bit of weight on. He could work his ass off.
Well, I tell you, he would have been on TV, no doubt.
Since we're talking about Ricky, you know, some of the best matches I've seen, besides with Ricky and Cue Ball, was Ricky and Danny. Man, I tell you what, they would tear down a house together.
Well, I'm about to say something else, not just because Cue Ball's on here. Cue Ball, I'm telling you, Cue Ball and Ricky's matches, to me, were unreal. I would watch those all the time.
Facts.
I had the best seats in the house in those, brother.
Right.
Commentary.
Right. And Danny Horn, you know, I hate to say it, I mean, he's the most underrated. I mean, like I told him that night, I mean, his arm drag is probably one of the best arm drags I've ever seen ever. I mean, you know, besides the Ricky Morton that I've ever, you know, took.
That's a fact. You know, Danny's another one of those guys that's just purely fundamental, you know.
Yeah.
He just lets his demons get in the way sometimes. I love that man to death. Known him 35 years of my life, but damn, you know.
I've got demons too, brother. I know. The only thing now, did either one of y'all ever work for Pete Sutherland?
No, I didn't get a chance to work for Pete. I've heard his name many times.
Swainsboro, right after you know, John sold Galaxy Pro, and then I think Pete called it Galaxy Extreme. Yeah,
that's right, GPXW.
Yeah, and I worked for him a while, but that's the only promotion I'm trying to think that I didn't.
Yeah, come to think of it, I did go down there with Danny and Phenom and Spaz one night. So yeah, I did go down with GPXW.
They just, Pete he's another one that I'm not talking bad about him, but he let the inmates run the asylum, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing about it now, I tell you another guy I didn't even think about that Jake and I worked for, Tommy Dayton.
Yeah.
Tommy, I can tell you this, Tommy paid me probably better, besides Wayne Cannon, Jody Peterman, and I'll throw Tommy Dame in there. That's the 3 best paydays I ever got.
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, a lot of people didn't know. I mean, Tommy always paid good. I think he called, what is it, Extreme Pro?
Yeah, something like that.
EPW, Extreme Pro. But Jake and I worked, with him. But like I said, I always liked traveling with Jake. We were always heels together. And I tell you what, you ever seen him and Vordell work each other?
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, we had Vordell on a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, would you? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. He was our first guest of the evening. Well, actually, yeah, he was our first guest.
Wow.
Yep.
And, man, we might see Vordell coming up in May.
Right.
Vordell actually may make a return to the ring here in Georgia for the first time in years.
Yeah, he and I talked, the other night, and then, like I told you, I had quite a few, messages from guys I hadn't seen, and it was so good. I mean, it was good seeing Phenom. I hadn't seen Phenom in, man, I can't tell you how many years.
Well, good thing about him is he's the reigning Stranglehold world champion right now.
I know, and he looked the same. When I saw him,
yeah, he's still
he didn't have no gray hair. I'm like, dude,
I'm gonna tell you something. He worked this cat. We did a show in a Mexican dance hall over in Austell, Georgia. And he worked this cat named Lucha LaCrua from Florida, and that was one of the best matches I've seen in 20 years.
Wow, I'd like to see a tape of that.
Gavin, I think we got that, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
I'll get you a link to that. Once my producer goes home and gets a little sleep, I'll shoot it over to you.
I'll send it to him right now.
Well, we got 1 and 2 because he worked him twice. He did it once in Austell and once in Fort Valley.
Nice.
And I'm telling you what, there was some good chemistry there.
Y'all talked to Dirty Don lately?
Yeah, matter of fact, we had him last night for about 30 minutes.
Yep.
I started keeping up with him again. I saw him on Facebook or something, and some of his stories talking about working for John Corsi. I enjoyed, seeing a lot of those.
And at Dirty Don's request, our podcast from now on, we're probably going to try to get some story time in every one. Because I think that it shouldn't be just funerals that bring us together anymore. I think that we need to remember, what got us here in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I got you, brother. I agree. I mean, it was just like the other night, I thought Jake would have been, I know a lot of guys would have tried more, but I mean, I thought Jake would have been happy with just the wrestlers, referees, announcers that showed up the other night.
I believe he would. I believe he would have. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. You couldn't have drugged me away.
Right, he just
and it still don't make no damn sense.
Yeah, I know. And I mean, I just I don't know. Sometimes we question the man above, and things happen for a reason, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. Well, listen, Bank.
And I could go on. I mean, like I said, but I'm sitting here like for a while when I was like, when I texted, I don't know if it was you or Q-Ball, when I texted back first, I was like, man, I don't know if I can tell all these Jake, and even my son was here, I was like, I don't know if I can tell all these Jake Slater stories.
Yeah, that was to be.
Then I got thinking about it. I mean, dude, it was 2001. I just come back from Funks. So, I mean, what I'm getting at, I'd forgotten about Georgia Wrestling Federation, and I started putting stuff in order, and I was like, dude, there's so many federations that I look back on that Jake had an influence on, is what I'm saying.
Just about everybody.
Right, but he didn't come in there trying to be that person. You know what I mean?
He never got to formally come to Stranglehold, but he was behind me the whole time.
Well, I mean, you knew he blessed you with your knowledge, and then you knew, you know what I'm saying? You knew he had you back.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, when I was showing his daddy the page the other night, and it still said Jake Slater likes this page, dude, I was still like, I can't believe I'm even thinking about him in the past tense at this point. By the way, did I do good up there at the podium? Because I thought for sure I was fixing to lose it,
Well, I mean, I know I was watching you earlier, and when you broke down earlier, when you were talking to Brokishi, I mean, I have nothing but positive things to say about Brokishi. I mean, I worked, World One South with him, and then I worked Rampage with him, and then AWN. I never had a problem with AWN. It's just I never went to AWN a lot. I mean, I guess me living in Dublin. I mean, Stratus took me over there a few times, and then going back. I hate to say it. Then when I went back to AWN, guess who brought me back to AWN? Jake Slater.
Yeah.
So, I just, but y'all said it now. I'm changing the subject. We're talking wrestling. So,
Sorry.
Slaughter Pit, son. Which one's wrestling now? You see?
Eddie Honcho?
Yeah. That's which one's son is that? That's Sam Slaughter. No, not
No.
Sam
Pitbull.
Slaughter. The other one's son, right?
That's Pitbull, yep.
So,
That's
what
Pitbull's
else? He
boy.
just doing indie shows.
Yeah, he's done a few for us. Oh, Edible Eddie Honcho.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end it like this. First of all, I'm glad y'all let me call. It was about Jake and all, but I just want to tell both of y'all that definitely I'm coming up there for y'all's the show. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna work, but I'm gonna come up there just to show your support and just to be there to honor Jake. Hell, to honor Q-Ball. He's been a hell of a worker too and done a lot of shit stuff in Georgia. Just to come up there to see you guys. And the other day, I know we've never been close, but I just felt a connection the other night. We all have respect for each other. We all have heat with each other from here to there. I've never had heat with y'all too, but
Right.
I think at the end of the day, it's.
Yeah, I think I got a little too jokey. I got a little too jokey with you one night.
We want to try to do what's best, and I think the older we get, I think the better our hearts get as far as that kind of thing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So, y'all stay in touch. I love Jake Slater. I love what y'all are doing, and I appreciate y'all letting me call in, man. It means a lot.
Anytime, ladies and gentlemen, Big Bank Barfield.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care, guys.
We'll
All
holler,
right, man.
brother.
Much love.
See you, man. Take
Yep.
care. Much love.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got newfound respect for him.
He set the record. 34 minutes.
Well, I think we should call it a night.
No doubt.